serving Borrego Valley and the entire San Diego County backcountry. We are the ramradio.com.
Hello and welcome to Moments with MJ here on BBC On the Ram. And I have with me today Esmeralda.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Esmeralda, hello. And tell me about yourself, Esmeralda. Why are we here together today?
I grew up here. I grew up here in Borrego. My family, my immediate family, my mom and my dad, may rest in peace, have resided here since 1979.
Oh, wow.
I was born in LA and we moved here, and we haven't really gone anywhere since. That's why. You
put your roots down here in Borrego Springs.
My roots are here in Borrego Springs. Everything that it is about me, everything that identifies me is Borrego Springs.
I love that. And there's something really big that you happen to start here in Borrego.
Yes. Once upon a time, we started OLAX, the Organizacion Latinos X de Borrego Springs. It was during COVID. There was a lot of lack of resources, not of food, but of an understanding in the Latino community of what they could do. As you know, Borrego is an SDAC community. It's a disadvantaged community. So a lot of people live paycheck to paycheck, and then from one day to the next, that paycheck's gone.
Yes.
There wasn't enough resources at one point to open unemployment or a how-to. There was language barriers, and we were all reaching out to each other, trying to figure out what we could do. I was blessed and continued working, but not everybody was as fortunate. And it got to the point where my husband was getting letters from a couple of his coworkers saying, "Can you ask your wife what she can do? Because we're running out of money and we haven't heard anything from unemployment. We haven't heard anything from like the EBT. We haven't heard anything from any of the resources that they'd applied for the emergency situation many of us were thrown into." And I realized there was people that were taking advantage of other people in our community, people in other places. This particular one was out of Calexico. The gentleman had gone, he'd paid to help assistant opening his unemployment when he was laid off. And the person that opened it, the company, the little office that opened it, not only charged him to open it, but they put their own emails for information. So he wasn't getting anything because he wasn't getting the information he needed to send back. So it took me a couple months, but we were able to recover $18,000 for him.
Wow.
And that's when I realized we needed support in our community. And that's originally OLAX was born as a resource to be able to bridge that communication gap. And then we realized how much more we were needed. One of the first to jump on board was Israel Ochoa and Carmen Ochoa. They were one of the first ones. And then in short following was Alicia Ramirez and Ms. Deichler. And then we've grown from there. There's 12 of us that are currently active members, the directors. But that's where the idea was born, where we realized that our community needs help in bridging that information, that language barrier gap that sometimes falls, because Borrego is a community that takes care of itself, but sometimes that language barrier just doesn't let us reach out in the right direction.
Right. So that's interesting that this person sought you out. Why out of anyone else in the community, you?
Because I am la hija de Don Lupe. I am Don Lupe's daughter, and my dad, for those that knew my dad, knew that if you needed help with something, my dad was going to help you without asking why.
So this is like
what he needed.
Family.
Yes.
They knew that because of who your father was, that his daughter continued helping the community.
Yes, I've been translating for my mom since I was 6 for immigration. Wow. So really young, I understood. My mom, when we bought our house in town, when she bought her house in town, I was 11, and my mom didn't know how to write a check. So she got a guide, but she still didn't know how to write it. So I had to read the guide, and I'd have to help her write out the bill sometimes. At 11. I was 11. So
That's very young.
Yeah, I've been translating and filling out forms since I was 6, and getting more intense as I got older, bringing in the accounting, helping my mom with that. It is, and it's so funny. In Mexico, a notary is almost like an attorney. It's very important. It's like the county register, you know? It's a number throughout the country. and you're assigned a building, and it's Notaria 1, Notaria 2. Here, we just acknowledge a signature, and I tell my mom, quit telling people I'm a notary. She's like, my daughter's a notary. I'm like, no, Mom, it's not the same.
It's not the same
So
on
that
this side of the border.
that also does it. I worked as a teller at the banks. When where the bank currently is now was Union Bank of California. I got my start there when fresh out of high school. And then when they closed that, I went on to Borrego Springs Bank. And then from there, I moved to Salinas. So everybody was familiar with me, seeing me, and they, it's a train of thought. If you figure out you work in a bank, you're smart, you know something.
Yes.
And so sometimes they'd bring us letters there. So that also had a part of it. But yeah, a lot of people say right now in the community, I'm either Octavio's wife or Don Lupe's daughter. So that's where it comes. It comes from why me, because they know who my dad was and now my husband, and they know that will help.
But that is a huge compliment and yet a huge responsibility.
Yes, it is a huge responsibility. It is a lot.
How do you balance it between the different things you do, plus being a wife and a mother?
It's hard. It's not easy. It's a lot of pulling and tugging and a lot of understanding from my husband. There's a lot of things that sometimes I feel like I should pull back and be more of a mother, but my girls are at an age where they understand and they'll jump in and help with other things as well. But we do it, and I say we because we do a lot as a family. We like to see the end result. That gentleman, for example, my husband being able to call him and tell him the money's in your account now, check it. And with that, he was able to help. Even though she lost her battle, they were able to put up a fight. His wife had cancer, and they were able to finish her dream home, and she was able to enjoy it for a few months. But without us helping, he wouldn't have been able to do that. Not even the chance of a fight. No. And those are the end results that I remember. That's what I go for. And that's the part that's important to us. My husband understands that.
And was this something that understanding, if I can use the word legacy, that your father and your family had already established here in Borrego Springs, was that something that you just automatically went into? Or did you ever think you wanted to do something different? Go somewhere different?
No, there's 5 of us. There's 5 siblings, and we all follow.
Good-sized family.
Yes, and all 5 of us follow that same belief. We were instilled the same values, and my dad taught us that. He's like, if you can help. It doesn't cost you anything to help, and if it doesn't, you can do it. Help anyways. Just help. Be a good person. And
we need more of that.
Yeah, my dad really instilled that in us, and he also instilled us. And I love saying this to my kids. I say it to my nieces. I've said it to my friend Marina. I'm like, my dad would always tell us, there's no worse fight than the one that isn't fought. So fight for it. Go for it.
That's true.
You don't try. Fight for it. You want it? Go for it. And my dad was an orphan, very, very young. My dad grew up on the street. He had siblings. It's very interesting and a story for another day. But my dad raised himself pretty much after his mom died. He had a family once he married my mom. My dad was 21. My mom was really young. My mom was 16. Back in the day, that's just how they rolled.
That was totally normal.
And I was the first child born in the U.S. My brother and sister were both born in Mexico, but they instilled and pushed in us to do a little better than what they did. My dad was a very, very smart man. He always did labor jobs, but from being a worker in a factory, he learned to install water lines and build a whole farm. He worked for the Fortner Ranch, and he was there when they transitioned from gladiolas to citrus.
Wow.
So having never done that before, he worked there for over 20 years, and he was only supposed to be employed for 3 days to fix a car. And then they said, well, can you fix a tractor? He's like, sure. So he fixed the tractor. Can you fix this diesel pump? Sure. So he went in and figured out how to fix that. So that's kind of like, I always tell him at work, sometimes I wing it. It's how I do some of my best work. Because you don't know what's going to come across. Just because you don't know, it means you're going to be afraid of it. Got to look at it, analyze it, break it down, and do it.
Yeah, I mean, why not try it?
Yep.
I mean, what do you have to lose, honestly?
Yeah.
What do you gain, though?
Yep.
And it sounds like he gained a lot, and he instilled it in his children.
Yes.
And you're passing it on to your children.
Yes.
So if you're tuning in right now, you're listening to Moments with MJ, and I'm speaking with the lovely Esmeralda here in Borrego Springs. And she is giving me a little backstory about her family and her father and the legacy that is continuing generation after generation now. And it's beautiful because it is so easy to go me first, me first, me first. But what about the person that's behind you, the person that's beside you? You got to bring them along too. You got to try to pick up the other person. And that's one of the things. If you listen to my show the other day, I was speaking about how we need to be lifting each other up, because it's not about me on this side of the table. It's about the person that I'm talking to, because they're bringing something not only to me, but to those of you that are listening and to others that continue as it spreads, as BVCR the Rams continues to spread and share the idea that we're not trying to compete with each other. We really aren't trying to compete with each other. It's about me giving the people on the other side of the table the chance to share their love, their passion, their joy. And the hope would be that it would be contagious to those of you that are listening. Okay? That we would push ourselves to get out of our way. Because a lot of times it isn't someone else in our way. Right? It's usually us in our way. And we need to get out of our own way and say, you know what? Try it. Like you said, your dad was like, yeah, I can fix it. Yeah, I can fix it. That's beautiful. And yeah, sometimes we are winging things, but we learn each time we try to do those things. And the next time we're that much better.
Yep.
So this was something that you were, for sure, you were going to, this is what you were going to do no matter what.
That's what I was going to do no matter what. It turned into a totally different, not different, more encompassing project than what I originally visioned. The original train of thought behind it was, like I said, to bridge that gap, that communication gap that we didn't always understand each other within the community of what was happening. And then now it turned into the cultural experience. I want you to get to know me better. I want you to know the history about me, which is why we have, one of the reasons we have the Day of the Dead Expo. Get to know me literally from the roots up. Know who I am, know what we're about, know what we did. Yeah. Know what we did here in Borrego. My uncle put in the water and sewer lines at Rams Hill. He's 80.
Wow.
My uncle put them in. My brother and my other uncle, who's passed away now, helped started the rebuild at the Palms at Indian Head. My mom was on the first crew when they recently opened Palm Canyon Resort.
Wow.
My aunt worked in a factory where they stuffed toy animals in Borrego.
Oh my goodness.
A long, long time ago, my aunt and my grandma.
So your family is like...
Is deep.
Is like Borrego Springs.
It's from the Bracero program. So like that's one of the reasons like OLAX embraces that part, the culture. It embraces the families. It embraces the history. It wants us to celebrate together. The Hispanic, the Mexican, Latino community is all about celebration. Like,
it really is.
Like our families have passed, but let's celebrate that they lived. You know what I mean? Like, let's celebrate the matriarch of our family, the matriarchs of our family, our moms. Let's celebrate the hard worker, our dads. Like, let's celebrate the children, the future, El Día del Niño.
Yes.
And we want to bring all that, the Santa experience at the circle, have the children dream a little for one day. Life is so hard. Let them walk through that tunnel and grab the toys and enjoy the cookie and the hot chocolate and watch them all play at the circle. Have you seen the last two Santa at the Circle days, the last 2 years? We had it earlier in the afternoon for the weather's nicer. Then all the kids open their presents and they run around and kick soccer balls and play with the toy cars on the lawn. It's beautiful to see. And we do that. And we do that way. I say we as a community, we do that because OLAX works because it has a whole community behind it. And what started is just sending out a helping hand has learned into a total embrace. And I love that for my project, for our project.
Yes, absolutely. Because the community needs to always have something that has a big heart.
Yes.
And it's so easy, like I just said, just to get caught up and lost and forget about the little things. But like you said, seeing the kids just play, just having fun, enjoying themselves, not even thinking about any other cares in the world. I've got this new toy. I'm playing with this. I'm playing with my friends. I'm making new friends.
And then the parents are talking to each other.
Then they get a chance to connect as well.
And you can't forget the hot chocolate, champurrado, and the pan dulce.
Yes.
To enjoy it, you know what I mean? And then we've taken it further and it's growing, and we've added the scholarships. And now we have scholarships, and our little contribution filled the first check that we hope with everybody's help we're able to do every year. It's just the way that it's growing and the way that we hope for it to grow, and more people get involved, either as a donor or as being a part of OLAX or just participating in the events. If we had no one to participate, no one came, we wouldn't have one.
That's true.
So it takes everybody, whether you go to enjoy it, you help put it on, or you help contribute to make it possible.
So OLAX is a nonprofit? Then?
OLAX is a nonprofit. It is a 501c3.
Okay.
It was we were able to do it through a generous donation, and OLAX is a 501c3.
So people, let's say, for example, listeners right now on BVCR The Ram, and they're listening to Moments with MJ, and they want to donate to OLAX.
You can always go through our website. It's olaxdeborrego.org.
Okay.
You can go ahead and go through that. You can reach out to me. I work also for the Borrego Water District. I am there, or any of the OLAX members who are in the community. It's Alicia Ramirez, the Alicia Spa, Day Spa, Andrea McKenna, Marina Lopez, Israel or Carmen Ochoa, Stacy Valdez, there's the Maribel Deyes over at the salon too. There's Mateo and Nidia Mamea through the Methodist Church. We're growing and growing, and it's just Cheryl Campbell. She runs as our secretary and runs our minutes and stuff. So any one of us, you see us in the community. Currently, one of our summer projects we're hoping will be to encourage and have a youth group through the high school to be able to have that project coming in.
What would they
youth. We're still working on planning that out, but also sorting it out, but probably working with our projects as well, trying to build that same train of thought and participation through the school as well. It's something that we're going to laying the groundwork on right now.
Wonderful.
But it's one of our future projects that we have for OLAX.
I love it because they do need something productive to do during summer. Kids always need something. They want to have vacation, but then they're like, I'm bored.
Yes, we're working with the Legion. We're working on projects with the Legion. We're working on projects with the CRC for activities in the summer, maybe one or two. We're working on a project like some makeup classes with Las Flores. Just it'll be a community class. There's just ideas that we're throwing out there of what we want to do. A lot of times what held us back were funds, but as we're working, you went to Noche Mexicana.
Yes, I did. It was wonderful.
It's been able to raise more funds to allow us to do more.
Absolutely. And that's important because the kids are going to experience the different events, whether they're participants or if they're helping. And the families, like you said, now families are bonding. And most of us that are, 9-to-5ers, we are here year round.
Yes.
So OLAX doesn't take vacation. There's no summer vacation.
No, but summer's spent planning and planning.
Yes, because there's always going to be a need. There's always something that needs to be taken care of. There's always people that need something.
Yes.
And your team of people, that a dozen, right? You said 12 people?
Yeah, there's 12 of us.
That's fabulous. Because now it's not just you carrying it all. You can work together as a group.
Yes, and I just want to make clear, we do a lot of liaisoning as OLAX, but any form filling I do as me, as Esmeralda, and my counterparts do as well. We do it individually.
Okay.
And there's a different stuff, special licensing and stuff that needs to get in through that.
That makes sense.
So any help that we do when somebody needs to understand a letter or something, we'll translate, and other things as needed, and refer a liaison as they need it.
That's good. So then you know exactly where to direct people. Each person has their specialty, if you would.
Yes, we do.
And then they're able to think, okay, well, you know what, I can direct you to this person because she handles this or he handles this, and that way everything gets taken care of accordingly.
And we do put on, with help from Mateo and Nidia Mamea from the Methodist Church, we do put on a legal clinic. We've had it for 2 years. Their specialty is immigration, but we do have a legal clinic that we bring.
That's important.
Yes, it is.
Because things can be crazy from time to time.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's good for people to know that there's support out there.
Yes.
And if you're just tuning in, I'm speaking with Esmeralda. What would your title be in OLAX?
I am a director. I am the secretary.
You're the director and the secretary.
Yeah, I'm a director and a secretary director. I don't know how you'd word that, but yeah. I worked for the Water District for over 10 years. The admin position that I have, I just felt I was better useful and more resourceful as secretary while OLAX establishes itself. And with the understanding, and we learn being a 501c3 just to make sure everything's in order as we have to carry it.
Dot your I's and cross your T's.
Yes, ma'am.
That's very important because people do check all of that type of stuff. So it's really good to make sure that everything is established correctly. And so besides OLAX and your father's history and that legacy that he has, and your family, because you mentioned uncles and mom, like, great Scott, your family has just done so much for Borrego Springs.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this to the public, you're a very humble woman. You don't walk around going, I did all of this. You're not that person. Your heart is for the people. And that is one thing that when I met you the first time, I was like, oh my goodness. One, she loves her daughters.
Thank you.
No doubt. And then she loves this community.
I do.
And we need more of that happening on a regular basis. If someone wanted to help, if someone wanted to be involved, would they contact you or just any members? Just if they want to roll up their sleeves and help. Besides donating. I mean, donating is obvious, but
contact any one of us.
Just contact any one of the members.
Any one of us. And
you have a Facebook page, so they can find you on Facebook and they can send a message there.
Facebook and Instagram and an actual webpage. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. So you've got all three things. Yes. So there is no excuse, people. If you want to help, if you want to roll up your sleeves and help Borrego Springs community, there's a way. There's always a way. And helping an organization that's busy year around, there's always a need. There's always something that people need to help with or taken care of. And for them to do it in a way that still keeps the person's self-respect.
Yes.
And that is huge because it's humbling to have to go and ask for help. But it would make someone feel worse if they were just if you're like, oh my goodness, really? But you guys, every time I've been around anyone in your group, I'm just saying the love is so overwhelming. Overwhelming. I love it because I'm a huggy person. My family's a huggy person. We are very, not boisterous, but we're very energetic. And we just want to love everyone and we want to help everyone. And that's how my parents raised us, is to be, like you said, out there helping. Okay, this person needs something. There's been times where I've seen someone homeless and I've taken off a piece of clothing, like a scarf or hat or gloves, and I'm like, this man is sitting there. I can knit some more for myself, but he needs this right here, right now. And I've given people food. I've gone into a restaurant and gotten food for them and brought it out because I'm like, you need something to eat. There's a need right now.
Yes.
Let me take care of it. And that's what you've been doing your whole life.
Yes.
It's so beautiful.
Thank you,
Esmeralda.
Thank you.
It's so beautiful. How do we get more people to do that? How do we get more people to get out of their own head and just...
I think, honestly, as corny as it sounds, it's a pay it forward. Pay it forward. You see that and you get that. I see that a lot. Because I don't do it on purpose, but they always ask me, well, for example, just yesterday, I was, well, how much do you charge? No, I'm not charging you. I had someone come in that they want to get married and weren't sure how to fill out their license. Mm-hmm. And you pay it forward. Bless his heart, my boss, Jeff, is amazing. Jeff, Poole, and the staff at the Water District, shout out to them, are amazing people. I do my job. And then once I'm done, OLAX, of course, buys their own paper, but he allows me to help with the community. So as long as my work's done, once I'm done and I clock out, then I can go ahead and get to work on what I need to help my community. Oh. So I had someone come in and they weren't sure how to fill out just something simple as a marriage certificate. It's something they've never done before. Not everybody uses a computer.
Right.
All right, let's go. Well, what do I do from here? okay, well, we filled it out. We made your appointment. You just have to go. You're going to present these 2 IDs and explain the process step by step. And they're like, okay, well, how much do we owe you? You don't owe me anything. You don't owe me anything because it cost me nothing but a little bit of time.
Yes.
That's all it cost me, a little bit of time. And I'm not more richer, I'm not more poor, but I help someone because they're going to get their license and then they'll come back and I'll go marry them because I'm already, I can officiate.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, do tell.
Yeah. Well, it came up as for my husband's cousin. She's in Bakersfield. Then she went to go ask, and they said she needed a license and she's a notary to marry her. And I was like, well, no, mija, you don't need a notary to marry you, but you do need a notary to sign your license. And she's like, well, can you do it? I was like, you sure? She's like, yeah. I was like, okay. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. So I went online. I'm like, oh, this is what I need to do? Okay, all right, let's do this. So got ordained online through Universal Life Church, and I didn't marry her. We couldn't make it. She got someone else, but it was here when somebody needed in Borrego. Hey, Esmeralda, I heard you're a notary. My sister wants to get married. I was like, you know what? I can do that. I can do that. So I get tacos and cake. And I was blessed. Everyone's always given me a nice tip, but I've never ever charged and said it's this much because I already know it's hard to get it done. And I know that when I wanted to get married, nobody would marry me.
Really?
Yes, because my husband and I had only been dating for 4 months before we got engaged.
But you knew.
Well, I've known my husband since I was 13.
Aww.
But we didn't date. We were just in the same friend group. So he went to Salinas. I stayed here in Borrego. He came down to see me, and then he said he just couldn't leave.
Aww.
He didn't come to see me. He came to see his mom. But his brother reintroduced us, and then he couldn't leave. And so what became a 2-week stay. We've been married we'll be married 25 years in December.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, so side point, just so you know what's happening right now. This is Moments with MJ, and I'm speaking with the lovely Esmeralda, who your secretary, and what was the second one?
Well, I'm a director. I serve as secretary for them.
Director and secretary for OLAX here in Borrego Springs. And she was just telling me about the love stories that she's been part of and her own love story. 25 years, you said?
It'll be 25 years.
In December, she'll be married to her husband. So I want a little bit more of that. The Moments with MJ. MJ wants to hear a little bit more about it because I love, and I would love to hear how he proposed. If you want to share, you're not forced.
It was a whirlwind.
Yeah.
He showed up. He came to visit his mom, like I said, for Borrego Days in 2000. So at the end of October 2000, his brother reintroduced us. His brother had gone to visit him in Watsonville, Salinas, where he was residing at that time, and said, "Hey, there's this girl in town, and she's really nice and she's cool. Her name's Esmeralda." And he's like, "I know an Esmeralda." He's like, "You don't know her?" He's like, "Yeah, I do." So he's like, show me a picture. So he showed him a picture that he had of us as a group. He's like, "Oh yeah, I know her. I went to school with her," because he went to school here for 2 years. And he said, "Tell her when I go down if she's okay if you reintroduce us." And he's like, "All right." So he came back and went to the bank and told me, and I said, "Yes. Okay, I know Octavio," but I'm sitting here thinking with his old look. My husband used to have a mullet. If you guys don't know my husband shaves his head. And my husband used to have a mullet. And I was like, "That's not, you know Octavio? Yeah, you're my brother." "No, he's not." "Yes." "No way," because him and his brother are total opposites. And so here comes Borrego Days, and here's this tall, bad boy looking. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was in love with cowboys. I love me a handsome cowboy. Mm-hmm. And Octavio, if you've met him, he looks nothing like a cowboy. He looks like he walked off a street in LA. And we just talked and talked and talked. And my little sister told me when it was finally time for us to leave the circle, because we were, home girls, mm-hmm. and my mom wanted us home at a certain time. And my sister's like, "You're going to marry him." And I said, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "I've never seen you smile and laugh like that, ever." And we just became inseparable. The first time he ever dared to kiss me was in January at Carly's. We went out on so many dates that they actually clapped because they'd see us there all the time having dinner together, and he just never made his move. And then in February, I remember he asked, what did your mom tell you about us? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, yeah, what did she say about us dating? I'm like, oh, well, she asked me if we're boyfriend and girlfriend because she said it's a lot of hamburgers for just being friends. And he's like, so what'd you tell her? I said, no, we're friends. He's like, well, do you want to? And I was like, what? So we'll just tell her we are. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, just tell her we are. I was like, okay. So that was that. And then here we are at Easter. I'll never forget it, the week before Easter. And he tells me, so what are your plans for us? And I was like, what do you mean, what are my plans for us? And he's like, yeah, well, are we going to just date? Are we going to get married? And I was like,
wow, he brought it up.
yeah.
Ooh, his wheels were already turning.
Yeah. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you don't want to get married? I was like, well, I don't know. Do you? And he's like, yeah. It's like, okay.
I love it.
And so he went home and told his dad and his mom. His mom thought he was crazy. His dad was like, are you sure Esmeralda's not just any normal girl? Because, again, my dad.
Right.
He's like, it's Don Lupe's daughter. No, it's Don Lupe. And he's like, no, yeah, we're sure. And I told my dad, and my dad's like, okay, if this is what you want. I was 21 at that time. I was going to be 20. No, I just turned 22. And Octavio was turning 25 in October. My mom had a hard time with it. We got married in June in San Diego at the Courtney Courthouse. My mom did not, on June 22nd, my mom did not let us move in until we got married through church in December 1st. So I was married for 6 months.
And you were still at home?
I was still at home, 22. Ooh. My curfew was 8 o'clock. And
Mom did not play around.
Mom did not play around.
I respect that.
And we were not allowed to move in together until we got married through church at 22. But you know what? It made us really think about what we were getting ourselves into. And
sincerely,
here we are.
Yes.
Tugging, pulling, happy, sad, fighting, happy again.
You make me
25
cry.
years.
This is such a wonderful story. I love it. Oh, big plans for 25 years?
We're thinking about it. We're hoping. We're right in the middle year between two quinceañeras. And we're like, okay, here's where the parent part comes in. What do you do? Do you do nothing and wait and save it for the quinceañera?
Right.
That's coming up. Yeah, but that was us. We moved to Salinas, and after we got married, about 3 years later, and it was really hard. Culturally, it was a culture shock being in a little town like this. Moving over there, we had our hardships and trials over there. You really grow up fast.
Yeah.
When that happens, but I loved it. I loved the experience I got as a person, as a wife, work. And then once we had our family, we wanted to be a family here in Borrego. And we came back. We've been here for 12 years back.
I'm fighting tears. Because I'm that person. Oh, Esmeralda, what a beautiful story. I'm imagining, I'm picturing everything that you're saying, and it just makes my heart just go, oh, this is so
it was
powerful.
A typical Miss Goody Two-Shoes, good girl raised at home with the bad boy, and he picked my mom just went like this.
With a mullet, no less.
She showed up in a lowrider to pick up her daughter, who was Miss Borrego and worked at the bank and 9 to 5.
Oh, wow.
All proper, and she's getting in the lowrider. My mom was clutching her pearls.
Clutching her pearls, no less.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I love it. So that being said, what is your favorite or most memorable experience here in Borrego Springs? What is something that, after all the years of being here, besides meeting your wonderful husband and reconnecting with him after years gone by, what else would you say is something that really touches your heart?
Oh my gosh.
I'm sure you have a long list.
A long list of them.
You can give me 2.
Oh, my favorite one was dropping off my girls for their first day of school. Being the mom that, this is the same preschool I went to. I remember sitting on the colored carpet with our names on masking tapes and the alphabet and walking my daughters to the door. It was just amazing. I was like, okay, I made it in life. I'm okay. Like,
and you have the sweetest girls.
My girls are amazing. I love my daughters. They're amazing little humans. And just walking them into school, I was like, we're going to be okay. This was the best thing I could have done. And I just felt so full and content and at peace.
Like you came full circle then.
Yes. It was really like, wow, we really are back. And I'm going to make this my home. I'm going to make this our home. Like, this is going to be them. And that's what I said, setting groundwork for all our other kids growing up. So,
absolutely. And if you're tuning in, this is DJ MJ, and this is time for Moments with MJ, and I'm speaking with Esmeralda, and she's been telling me a little bit about OLAX. We've talked a little bit about OLAX, but mainly about her and her family and their history. They're very rich and beautiful and powerful history here in Borrego Springs. And is there anything else that you want to add as we come to a close for this time? Because we will be back with more people from OLAX. Don't worry, because we really want to get into the heart of OLAX and find out from all the different individuals that are a part of it, as many as possible, to share. So, but this time, it's a one-on-one talking more about Esmeralda and her life, her rich history. Is there anything else you want to share to our listeners, to your friends and family that would be listening to this episode?
Just, pay it forward. Take that moment of your day and enjoy it and share a little something with someone, whether it's a good morning, whether it's a cup of coffee, whether it's how are you? And then just pay it forward because it makes a difference.
It does.
It makes a difference.
It really does. And that's beautiful advice. You heard it from Esmeralda. Pay it forward. And I'm one of those people that believes in that. It's hugely important because there's not a lot of people that do it. Mm-hmm. And I remember living in Tecate, and one particular night we were driving from visiting some friends that had a little market in their home. Like their market was on the bottom and their home was on top. And part of the back, too. And one of the family, because I taught their sons, they were in my second grade class. And we're driving home to our little place way out in the outskirts of Tecate. And I saw a man, I was in the passenger side, and I saw an older man walking down the street, and he was hobbling, like barely being able to walk. And I said, we've got to stop. And so my husband pulled over. He's like, okay. And I ran up to him. And, of course, I speak Spanish, too. So I walked to him and I'm talking to him, asking if he's okay, if he needs anything, would he like a ride? And he's like, really? You will give me a ride? I'm like, we didn't know him from anyone, just a stranger on the street. And I said, yes, please, we'll give a ride. And so he sat right beside me, and I drove because I'm like, you tell me, because I'm used to driving around Mexico, and it was fine. And so he was talking to us and telling us all about what he did. And he was a much older gentleman working, not a 9 to 5. He was working a long day, and he did it every day. And he had like sores on his feet and everything because he was working. And he said, oh, well, same thing. What do I tried to offer me money. I'm like, no, I don't know. I didn't offer you a ride for money. He's like, well, I've got to give you something. I said, you know what? You can just pray for our marriage. Mm-hmm. You pray for our marriage and we're good. And he just looked at me. He's like, I will pray for your marriage. I'll pray for you now and I'll pray for you later. I'll pray for you every day. And I believe that he did it because he prayed right then and there. And that's what it's about. It's about seeing a need. And I'm not saying that you need to just go and be risk takers type thing. You be educated about it. I wasn't alone. I was with my husband. And even if I wasn't, I'm pretty sure this little old man wasn't going to do anything. He was really busy trying to get home from working all day. So, like she said, pay it forward. Look for those people that need it. And don't do it thinking that, okay, this is what I'm going to get in return. Because that's not what it's about. It should never be about that. It should be, what can I do for someone else? Because, one day I might be there. Mm-hmm. I might be the person walking down the street, hobbling, needing someone to pick up and help me. So as we wrap up Moments with MJ, I want to thank the lovely Esmeralda for speaking and spending time with me today. And we will be back. We will be back with more people from OLAX. We're going to set it up, no doubt. Don't even worry about it. But if you want to donate, you should go ahead and do that. If you want to help out, contact any of the people that she mentioned. We'll include, when it's time for this episode, you're going to have that information. It'll be shared on our Facebook page, and then they can share it as well on their page. And so you'll know how you can pay it forward to the Borrego Springs community. And I want to thank you, Esmeralda, for spending time with me today. And I just want to thank all of you for listening out there to Moments with MJ here on BBC on the Ram. And until next time, take care and pay it forward. Help someone out. Give them a hug. Give them a high five. Just give them a smile. You can brighten a person's day. Take care. Bye-bye.
Like the vast Anza Borrego Desert State Park, the Ram Radio is headquartered in beautiful Borrego Springs, yet stretches across the far reaches of the San Diego backcountry and streaming worldwide. We are Borrego Valley, community radio, the Ram. Listen local or take us wherever you go at theramradio.com.